Nate Marchand, Personal Journal. After the show, I went to my quarters, sat on my bunk, and opened my laptop to check my email. I saw another 3 messages from Jimmy, the last one having a subject line in all caps demanding I reply. I check-marked it and moved it to a folder marked Messages from NASA. I think that took the total to over 50. I just couldn't bring myself to delete them. I'll return to the island for Jimmy and Kaguya's wedding, despite all the weirdness, even by Monster Island standards. I missed it. Yet, dread still hung over me. Did I actually want to go back? Or go anywhere? I was in the middle of reading an email from Ricky about how the Reptilicuses were doing when there was a knock at the door. "Give me a minute, Jet," I called. The door opened. There stood Jimmy. I slammed my laptop shut and jumped to my feet. We stared at each other in silence for I don't know how many seconds. "I finally found you, Marchand," Jimmy said. "What do you mean?" I asked. Jimmy explained that he and Kaguya had been chasing me ever since they returned from the moon. I tried to ask him how it went, but he cut me off with, "I'd have preferred to have a second honeymoon later under better circumstances." I had a rare moment of speechlessness. Jimmy finally asked why I ran off without him and Kaguya, adding that even Jet didn't know. I stumbled over my words, trying to say it was because we needed to recapture the monsters still on the loose. "Yeah, what a bang-up job you've done with that," he said. "Hey, we got them back to the island," I insisted. Jimmy cocked his head and said, "And what exactly did you do to accomplish that?" I had another rare moment of speechlessness. "If it wasn't for Kevin, Jet, and, to my shock, Dr. Dorff, who knows what would have happened to those cities, you, or my mecha." He paused for a second. "I didn't need to lose my best friend right after getting married." I shot back, "I lost mine!" Jimmy shook his head and said, "You didn't listen to Michael." I spat an uncharacteristic profanity. Jimmy went on to say even Kaguya, who was still trying to understand human psychology, could tell this was a lot deeper than losing a friend. "So, what is it?" he asked. All I could do was look away. After the longest silent moment of my life, Jimmy said, "All right, talk to me when you're ready." Desperate to sort of change the subject, I blurted, "I'm sorry." "What for?" asked Jimmy. I told him, "For running off without you and Kaguya." Jimmy just stared at me for a second and said, "And I'm sorry for making you feel like a third wheel." After another pregnant second, I asked, "Are we good?" Jimmy replied, I guess we are." He pointed over his shoulder with his thumb. "Kaguya has dinner ready if you're hungry. She's trying to learn how to cook." I laughed and said, "How's that going?" Jimmy rubbed his stomach and said, "The war in space couldn't kill me, but this might." We both laughed. It wasn't the worst dinner I've had, and I was glad they were back on the mecha. But seeing them happy together made the black hole in my chest expand even more. Good thing I kept smiling. And journal entry. MIFV, episode 104, Epilogue, Apologies, starring Nathan Marchand as MIFV Nate, written, directed, produced, and edited by Nathan Marchand. Music tracks included The Pain That Never Left by David Facilian and Abandoned by God by Rotakab. Sound effects sourced from freesound.org. Our story segments were made possible by the generous MIFV Max members on Patreon, including executive producer Damon Noyes. This is a fan production and no copyright infringement is intended or implied. All characters, video clips, and audio clips belong to their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended or implied. MIFV is a Moonlighting Ninjas media production and a proud member of Pod Nation. Thank you for listening. Next time, battle at my wit's end.